prostitute story. You guys ready? Are you ready for this? Bondage? I'm in.
I should be able to hire my own tweaker to beat up another tweaker.
Gets high fives from the boys.
It's the stupidest thing I ever heard of.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing?
With the boys.
We are here.
We are. What happened to our camera? Our camera was not like that this morning.
Oh, man. See what we get. Think we got everything figured out.
At least it's an easy fix as long as we center it in the mandala back there. I think that's what you call that.
Mandala or a mandala?
Mandala? I don't know. Probably mandala. It's probably mandala. That sounds right.
I'm going to go ahead and let the people know that we are live.
Yeah. Shout out. While you do that, I'll shout out City Brew for the wonderful coffees this morning. Shameless plug. We will always be begging for that sponsorship.
Mary was awesome this morning. She was about it. She was in such a good mood. You know, she starts her day at 4:30, and that's what time she's at work. So who knows what time she starts her day?
I've been there before. I was a barista. I was part of that morning crew, but I think we started at 5.
Started at 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we opened at 5, but I had to be there early to make muffins and scones and stuff. So I think I would get there about 4:30 or so. So I get it. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the people that are waking up in the morning and going to do those early morning jobs, because I am not a morning person. That is 100%. I have to do 4 or 5 alarms to get woken up.
Dude, we were on it this morning. You know what's so funny? My son got up for school and got ready and then laid back down.
Huh.
And he was just laying all ready to go in his work, his school clothes.
Hey, dude, he must have heard the podcast, because that's what I used to do.
That is so... I told him, I was like, do what you got to do, but understand wearing socks... your feet are going to get hot, and please don't wear your shoes, because I used to do that so I could be all the way ready. You're rocking shoes even when you're sleeping overnight?
Not overnight, no.
Yeah,
I've definitely like taken a nap in my shoes for a couple minutes.
Oh man, now I do that still.
Yeah,
like I fell asleep in my damn jeans.
I
yesterday.
love a good old lay down for a few minutes and like 10-minute nap. I used to not be able to do that, but there's something about it now.
Yesterday, I was ready to get back out, be a creature of the night, hit it. Instead, I collapsed and fell asleep.
That's probably for the better.
Yeah, and then I wake up to this insane news with Israel and Iran.
Yeah, dude, I saw that. I might have even seen that last night before I went to bed.
I had no idea that stuff was going on. And at the end of the day, hey, hug your loved ones.
Yeah, because
that stuff is...
I've been doing good about getting up in the mornings and getting ready, and we were early to school today, so I'm finally on top of it. But yeah, like you said, hug your loved ones, because it's getting scary out there.
It's just so weird. I mean, yeah, granted, it's been a 1,000-year-old fight now, but technology is getting too good where, you can just drop a bomb always, and the people dropping the bombs never see the collateral damage.
Mm-hmm. And like what I was showing you, how they figured out how to strap thermite to the drones, and the drones were just flying in, dropping thermite, just like lighting stuff on fire, dude. Yeah, it's scary, the technology that they're using for war these days. I
mean, we got our eyes on every corner of the earth, essentially, making sure. I mean, at the end of the day, we drop our fair share of bombs.
Yeah, we're no better than anyone. But I did see a video of a guy like trying to get out of a broke down tank, and he was running around, and this literal drone just chased him around this thing, and then just like self detonated on him. And then it clipped to another video where they're just manufacturing all these 3D printed drones, and they're just like, this is what we do now. So it's like it's good in a sense that we probably won't lose a bunch of soldiers anymore unless it's someone else attacking our soldiers, but it's still like, it's just sickening.
It's 100%, but it's all the collateral damage. And yeah, we're not losing soldiers, but man, civilians.
Yeah, that's what I can't fathom, that when they're just launching shit over Israel, like
And the fact you can see like Ukrainian soldiers and Russian soldiers dive bombing into each other's bunkers, like trying, like, I don't really want to be a part of this.
I don't want to see it, but it shows up on my feed just because of the social media, and they do a really great job at blocking the shit that fucking we don't want to see, right? They'll fucking hold back shit about COVID and then show us this kind of shit. It's
actual
disgusting.
24-hour surveillance cameras for certain neighborhoods in the United States, and nothing's happening with those. Parts of Philly, Kensington Avenue. I mean, you just see it all day, every long. And those seem like areas of just, I'd say, chaos that just operate in their own realm of things. This thing with Israel and Palestine and now Iran, they just have so many nuclear weapons over there to blow each other up.
Well, yeah, and then Russia and Ukraine are going crazy at it too. Like we've got a war on two fronts, as you were calling it. Like this is
melting pot for the world war.
100%.
This many people having this many opinions in this whole thing, it really does sound like World War II all over again.
Well, and then you got everyone in our country fighting about who's going to be the next president. Like it's literally chaos in a bottle, dude.
Yeah, and then you add to the immigration it is the amount of people who are essentially immigrants in America already.
It's a Molotov cocktail that's on fire and someone's fucking got it cocked back ready to throw, dude. 100%.
And at the end of the day, it's like, what is this objective that everybody keeps pushing for? It's like, yeah, everybody goes to war, the whole world blows itself up. Then what? We just gonna rebuild it and then do the same stupid thing all over again, blow each other up over and over and over and over again.
Isn't that the circle of life?
I mean, at some point, but what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if some people, you just, hey, let's try things a little different way.
Right. You'd think like, hey, we've been doing it this way for thousands of years and it's not working.
I just keep looking at a country like Singapore. Yeah, they're basically, you could say they are very, very stringent in their laws. You don't do crime in Singapore without being heavily punished for it. But quickly becoming the fastest renewable country.
Well, Dubai's killing it too, dude. Excuse me. Saudi Arabia and Dubai, like that's where all the new like rich people are going.
The thing about that is it's all backed by the oil.
Yeah, 100%.
But they just have it so naturally there. But they fight their own wars on their own fronts between the Arab nations and the Emirates and all of that.
Everyone everywhere is fighting their own wars, whether it be mental or physical.
Shout out to those fighting the mental war, winning it.
It's a battle every day, man. 100%.
You woke up, we're here, allowed to talk about it, allowed to complain about it.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually, I've been praying a little bit more. Like I said, I don't really pray to God or anything, but because I'm more agnostic, so I pray to, I guess I just call it the Creator, but been praying more. And I did actually think that we are in a fairly, warless, like a safe, era growing up, especially when we were kids. It was way better before 9/11, but I did pray and think that we kind of grew up in not having battles on all of our fronts, and we've been pretty lucky here in the States.
Yeah, to some extent, but you're also talking about coming from a home with both parents worked,
poster family. Yeah,
exactly. The almost like a perfect little childhood. If you look at a lot of other childhoods, even back then, it definitely wasn't like that, especially out there in Homeward Park Drive. It was the hood.
Dude,
still the sticks.
My brother has a funny story that he told he comes home one day and he looks at my dad and he goes, "Dad, our family's fucked up." And my dad goes, "What the fuck? No, we're not." He's like, "Yeah, we are. We're the only ones that are still have our parents together and go out and do things as a family. It's like everyone else's family's messed up. So we're the weird ones because we're the only ones that aren't." So yeah, I did get blessed with an amazing family. I call it the poster family for sure.
Because as a football coach, I can say I came across lots and lots of those families.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of single mother households. And I can't really speak to it because I'm sure it is really, really damn difficult. But some of these women are flat out crazy. So
yeah, my brother put it best. He's like, your kids might not see their parents together, but at least they see their grandparents. So they still have a little bit of that.
And you
people
wonder
can
why
love
all
each other forever. You know,
these young women are turning out to be 65 years old when they're 19 years old because they're only have their grandparents to look to, not their own damn parents to look at and say, "Damn,
that's what I want." Yeah. That's a good point. That's all right, dude. We could use some more old school mentality, younger generation girls. I think that would be okay. If a lot of these younger generation learn from their grandmothers, I think that would make a good society of women. Because, yeah, I definitely feel I don't have energy to try to impress a girl who's getting messaged by 10 other dudes who are doing the same thing, trying to impress her. Not interested. I'm good. I'd rather spend my energy doing anything else.
That might become the new hot thing is... Wow, she doesn't talk to a million dudes. That doesn't mean a million dudes aren't going to press her.
Yeah, 100%. You always have those, even when she's in a relationship, you always have those guys that as soon as they're out of that relationship.
The dogs.
Yeah.
The dogs.
And now that I say that, I'm going to stop being a dog. Because I'm definitely a dog.
That's the tough part. And like I said, once you know the difference between right and wrong and you continue to do wrong.
Yeah.
Can't expect anything good to come your way.
I don't know, but can't I just be nice and say hello to an old friend that just happens to not be in a relationship anymore? I didn't even know that, okay? I didn't even know.
That's tough too, because at the end of the day, we are humans. And that is such a desire at the end of the day. It's not like, I mean... There's people who die in the name of it. So.
And not only that, but I reached out and said, "What's up?" And I would have more often, but she was, if I was dating a girl and this guy always fucking messaged my girl, I'd message him and be like, "Stop fucking messaging my girl." Right? So when someone is in a relationship, even if I want to be their friend, I stop messaging them because, like, obviously I have respect for that guy. For the guy's respect, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and then there's a lot of Sigma males out there would say, "Better note up, it's gonna happen."
Yeah, right. And guess what? I'll message you and be like, "Stop fucking messaging my girl, bro. You can fucking have her when she leaves me. Give it fucking 6 months."
Let me fail this relationship and then do what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I do most.
That in its nutshell, at least you recognize, it's not like you're continuing to try to do the same old thing and expect something different.
Yeah, and the next time I get into a relationship, I won't change myself.
I like how there is the possibility of a next relationship. At least you're coming back around. The hermit.
It's definitely doing this has helped, and I've always thought eventually. I'm in no hurry, but. Eventually, 5-10 years down the road, I would hope to be in a relationship.
It's kind of funny, but I've had multiple times in my life where they keep saying the magic numbers 37 is when it starts.
What?
Which I'm like, just to find my special someone.
You like the desire to find them, or like that's when it's gonna happen?
That's when it's gonna happen.
Okay.
At least meet the individual. I'm into the woo-woo enough that I'm like, okay, I'll give it to you. Maybe I do need to take these next 2 years to handle mine.
And that would be 5 years for me, right? And then that sounds like literally I just said 5 to 10, and I'd like to see, it's about 37, right?
But first we got to become successful podcasters and entrepreneurs.
And I need to focus on myself too. Before I start taking any women out to dinner, I need to be able to pay for my own dinner.
Well, yeah.
Just kidding.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of
funny. It's a trap. What's up, Happy? Good to see you. We see you there, brother. It is a trap, man. No, it is nice having
But how
somebody.
many times have you jumped into relationships versus actually finding out about the whole person in a whole?
Yeah, like never, dude. When I was younger, it was,
We just made out, so you're my girlfriend.
or even worse, we just smashed. I guess we should hang out for a couple days, and then it's like, I guess you're my girlfriend now because we hung out for 2 days. Yeah, so it's
I
like,
don't want to be lonely, and you're here,
Yep.
and we're making out,
And
so
boom.
you're my girlfriend.
and I'm drunk and confident right now. So
Until we're sober, and then we don't know what to do with each other.
yeah.
Until we drink next time.
But I did definitely tell myself that the next time I'm gonna definitely take it slow and like date for a few years before I even consider moving in together. And then like even that, if I ever think about marriage again, which I probably don't really want to, because like why does the government have to sign off on the contract that we're gonna be together forever? Like fuck a marriage, we could just be together forever. But
I love the idea of that two people come together and then just stay together like that.
Yeah.
But it seems like they have to go off into the woods and separate themselves from society.
otherwise people think they're crazy. Yeah, we're like, well, you better marry that man. It's like, no, we don't.
Oh, you
we
gotta
don't
tie
have
that
to.
man
Yeah,
down. You gotta get
yeah.
a ring on his finger, or I ain't gonna put no time on this guy. He ain't trying to put no ring on his finger.
Exactly, right? Yeah. It's like, I've been there and done that. I did the fancy cool wedding and like fucking we had my whole fucking family
But
there.
if
And then
you
guess
had
what?
done
Fucking
the fancy cool wedding with the actual woman of your dreams for
It
a
would've been-
lifetime,
yeah.
then it all was worth it.
yeah, and then it comes down to, if you did say you meet someone, she's cool with that, and then maybe even you go and elope and you just don't do this big huge wedding, then you're gonna regret not doing that big huge wedding with the girl that you ended up
Especially if you
spending
can
the rest of your
afford
life.
it then.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you can afford a big ass wedding and the next thing you know you're living in a double wide, you can always look back at that wedding.
Dude, you know what fucking Kelton wrote down in my fucking wedding book? You know what fucking Kelton wrote down in my wedding book?
He wrote it what we were all thinking it.
He wrote, and I quote, "This has been fun. See ya at the next one." End quote.
End quote.
Fucking hilarious. I even thought it was hilarious at the time. And my dad even made a similar joke because my wedding was fucking fun. It was just a giant party. Everyone fucking drinking. Cops showed up. My dad said, "You know who the fuck I am. Get out of here." They turned it up louder. It was great, but I fucking wish I would have stayed longer because I ended up leaving.
But in reality, everybody was thinking it. There
Yeah.
will be another wedding.
Yeah.
This is not the be all end all.
Damn. Not everyone.
No, literally, everybody.
No,
Like,
everyone on my family, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
who thought it was gonna be forever?
Oh, I'm sure Nikki's mom and sisters. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe her sisters knew.
I
Maybe the
don't
mom
know.
didn't know. Maybe everyone knew.
Honestly, it kind of felt like Billy had a better chance.
But my dad said the same joke. He was just like, we should do this every weekend. It's like, Dad, I'm not getting fucking married every weekend, dude. Like, God damn it, no. Let's not do this every weekend.
Your dad just wants to have a
he
good
just
time.
wants to party, yeah.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, my dad found the podcast too. My mom messaged me yesterday.
We had heard.
Yeah.
That's
That's
not pretty
funny.
damn awesome.
That's hilarious.
Shout out Big Doyle. Still handling business.
Always.
Fuck around and find out.
We're going to have to get down there definitely next summer. Some boating trips, do some travel vlogging, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna hit that vlog game hard because we got quite a few interesting places just in Montana we need to go explore.
Yeah,
Because
now that we're fucking starting to do some deep dive.
if I have an actual archaeologist like a Graham Hancock going into somewhere and saying there's a good possibility in like the Younger Dryas impact and all of these different events that actual educated, degreed men have come up with, then I'm all for it. But when my co-host says aliens and they're covering everything up and you got to go, I don't know what to believe. So
It's when they start saying aliens is when it goes out the window.
well, it's for you when you say these things. Personally,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's real or bullshit or what it is. So then I'm like, okay, how do we document this so we, A, don't get murdered in the process, B, be able to show the rest of the world what kind of stuff we're talking about so we don't look like kooks.
We just go see cool things and then say, wow, that's cool.
But in Montana alone, we're talking about the Sage Wall and
Sage
this Montana
Wall,
megalith.
Yep. The Montana megalith, I'm definitely like, that one I'm not as convinced that it's like man-made.
Sage Wall, though,
the Sage
that
Wall
is probably the most, for me anyways, gives me enough. But you've also talked about going to
Pyramid Mountain,
Pyramid Mountain,
which apparently is pretty close to Sage Wall. Sage Wall is, some of the bricks are 90 tons, and it looks like a huge wall. They say it goes 15 feet underground, 250 feet long. Might have a foundation.
So how do you explain the foundation? That's the part that becomes oddly questionable in this whole thing.
Yeah, there's something going on there. And I was doing a deep dive on the 45th latitude across Montana.
Really hit the conspiracy.
Yeah, I was on a conspiracy deep dive when I found what they are calling Pyramid Mountain. But I was traveling along the 45th latitude through Montana, and I found this mountain that they called Pyramid Mountain.
Ley lines,
yep.
The 40, because
45th
because I've been saying
percentile.
I've heard quite a bit about it and the amount of things that it does line up with. What it makes you go, in Bamsky's words,
But yeah, so I was following it, and I found two actually. One of them is called The Pyramid, and it's over in eastern Montana, and then this one is just called Pyramid, and it's fairly close to this Sage Wall, and yeah, they call it Pyramid Mountain. There's no trails to it, so I found a way. If we travel the end of a road, go up a creek, and it splits, we travel to the right, we should get right to the base of Pyramid Mountain. I
don't know anybody a lot of places in the world that are going to be able to take advantage of it like we are, because we are Montanans.
And right here, yeah. And be able to go see it.
And I think Graham Hancock or a Joe Rogan might be interested in it at the end of it, as long as we can document it.
Yeah,
correctly.
if we got there and this, for some reason, this freaking mountain, because on Google Maps it doesn't look like it looks like a pyramid, but if we got there and some crazy shit, we find an underground tunnel and blah blah blah, that'd be cool. Or we get there and it's fucking fenced off by the government.
Or, I mean, but there's only one way to find out, because we got the huevos to go ahead and try it.
And then we might be some of those guys that are like, oh, we found their camera footage, but we never found them.
If you see a whole bunch of like blinking from us,
that's the signal.
We even thought we were getting investigated by a CIA bumblebee this morning. The thing was ginormous, people. I'm telling you. You ever seen a bumblebee this big? Fill me in what the hell that thing is.
I love this because it was so funny. We're in here just like joking around. He's giving me shit about my conspiracy brain and how I just go, the CIA is listening. We go outside and this giant ass bumblebee is just running into the side of the house and would just back and forth right into the side of the house until he finally hit it with his stick, and then it flew up and away. I was like, it's perfect. It's a defective CIA B drone, and he didn't know where he was going. He couldn't get it to go up anymore, and yeah, we were definitely being investigated.
It was a gigantic bumblebee. I've never seen one like it. I've seen other big ones. I mean, great, but that thing
was huge, dude.
It looked like if a bee fucked a beetle. It was huge.
Oh, that's funny. And yeah, it just happened to be right after we were talking about some CIA crazy conspiracy stuff. Because as much as I joke about being a crazy CIA conspiracy, I don't actually believe the fucking CIA is following me.
But this is actually pretty wild when it comes to all of these unexplained phenomena. Like there's the weird wonders of the world, like that. Devil's Tower is another great example.
Yeah.
Why is it just completely flat up there like that?
Looks like a giant ass fucking tree, petrified tree stump, 100%.
Yeah. So if that was a giant petrified tree, how big
was the tree? That would have been the tree of life, right? They showed us in Avatar exactly what they did to this planet when they got here.
But how sad is that they planted the tree of life in Wyoming?
Dude, did you
You're
not?
telling me
Did you not
that's where-
listen when I read that audiobook or listened to the audiobook on America is the Old World? What if that was the apple off from the tree, the Garden of Eden? And it was all lush and beautiful at one point in time.
The Big Apple for a reason?
Because that's how big the tree was, that when the apple fell, that was New York City. That was such a big tree. Now it's a bunch of what ifs. And that's
It
getting down to
literally
crazy.
becomes that. But you know what's not a what if? Edward Beaupre, the mountain giant.
The mountain
Montana.
giant. Which actually kind of got us into a little dive of the history of Montana, too.
It's absolutely phenomenal. But this dude was born in 1881, before Montana was actually a state.
And he ended when he joined the circus. He was 21 years old, 7 feet and 350 pounds, 320, 350.
pounds.
That's nuts. 7 feet tall. Just a monster of a man.
Like all these brilliant giants, they don't stick around very long.
Well, yeah, because I think you're pretty limited on like because of all that mass.
It's your heart.
Yeah, all that
Your heart
you
gives out.
can't all that mass, all that muscle. You can't freaking
Well,
can't live that long.
If your
Yeah.
heart is that big and it's trying to pump that much blood to your entire body, it just doesn't have it. And a lot of your organs are abnormally big as well, so it becomes.
Which then led us down yet again another little rabbit hole that this guy didn't even know that the Vatican has a shitload of bones that are giants. That apparently
What ifs
that were found here in the U.S. It's another big what if.
Exactly, a giant what if. This is 100% true. They've seen this man. It's been documented. He died in 1904.
And see, just having him documented makes me believe that they definitely could have found some larger human bones. And like, they weren't saying giants like 30, 40 feet tall. They were like 10 to 12 feet
Bro,
people.
this guy would have been 2 feet taller than me.
Yeah, but imagine if he was a little one of his people and you got one that's 4 or 5 foot tall.
That's the one thing, but is it even possible that they could have gotten bigger? Because if he's that big and dying at 20 years old, unless there's the perfect giant gene, is that possible? Is there the giant gene that
maybe when the Earth had more oxygen, they could live longer? Because
are you saying that there was a change in the atmosphere that stopped human beings from being able
that
to
big?
be giant?
Well, yeah, because you imagine if something happens in the atmosphere, your first thing to adapt would be to get smaller, to get lower in that atmosphere. What if it's toxic?
What if it was like really, really nitrogen rich? Because nitrogen is used a lot in plant fertilizers to help them grow big and strong.
Who knows, man? All we know is giants. There was giants in these hills.
Is there also a possibility if people lived on plants that they would grow like plants?
Did I tell you about the plant that made it through our floor?
You did.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude. So, I mean, when you said that, like, that's...
To me, that's not that wild because you can see how fast growth overruns everything.
Yeah.
If you, like, look at a yard if it's not even maintained
But as soon as you said that, as soon as you said if you are what you eat, so to speak, if you start eating all these plants, then you maybe can gain some properties of quicker growth or something like that.
I was like, because you look at the healing properties of a lot of these plants that people eat, the turmerics and the...
Imagine what we don't know. Like in the Amazon with ayahuasca, you have to boil these two things together to get something. What if the Native Americans here knew that if you put this weed and this weed together into a tea, that it fucking
if we want
turns
to
your baby into a giant?
We can look towards Amazonian women who were naturally bigger than the men there. And they were, I mean, that's really documented. Those women were massive.
Yeah, Futurama even had a freaking episode about him.
But beyond,
I know. That was obsessive.
Animation, these women are real.
100%.
And if you look at a guy, C.T. Fletcher, his mom was abnormally huge. I mean, talking about 4 kids under one arm, 4 kids under the other, just hauling them around.
Sheesh.
So what is that gene that produced these incredibly huge, gigantic women as well?
Yeah.
And then it's just like the human beings from like the Canary Islands learning bird speak.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, dude, even like they freaking...
It all seems just like an adaptation to whatever corner of the world you
Yeah, because even
on.
the Amazonian jungle tribesmen, they will mimic monkeys. And so that's how they talk to each other. Where like Paul Roselius talked about it. He's like, yeah, you'll hear monkeys that just don't quite sound like monkeys. You know, it's tribesmen communicating with each other, like with circling you and shit. He's got some wild stories, man.
And those are the guys who are like in the thick of it. Those guys are out there. It's not like they're,
100%.
They're not sitting from a table,
dude,
podcasting on whatever we read.
Shout out the Jungle Keepers, dude, because he literally asked for help, and I wish I could have afforded to buy a shirt, but it's just like from people buying shirts and stuff, they actually stopped the destruction of a piece of the jungle there. So like he is actively out there doing it and successfully completing projects and getting a lot of help from people across the world, which is amazing.
Because a lot of this stuff is from poaching, and we're clear cutting for corporations and everything. And that's the thing I philosophize most about is human nature. Because that guy who's poaching, right? Is he just trying to get rich, or is he? Well, he's taking care of his family.
He's protecting it from.
Does he got? You know what I mean? The guys who are out.
Well, no, dude, I swear to God, he's out there protecting the Amazon forest from the fires, because what they're doing is they're burning the forest down to put in like farms and shit, like cattle farms. So he will actually hire the fucking loggers and be like, because obviously the loggers are just out there trying to, they're trying to send money back home to their kids and their family. They're just trying to make a living. So he will try to get them off of that crew onto his crew and like turn them basically. Because they're just doing what they do to make money. They probably don't want to be doing it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, a lot of those guys, what other choice do you have? Look at the guys who go in the highlands of Peru to get the gold, to bring it back down, to sell it to America for 1/3 of the price, so America can jack up the price tenfold and then sell it to other Americans, and then
as jewelry.
Yeah, the Peruvian people, jewelry, just to turn 10 cents, they get like 10 cents off of $1,000 piece of gold. You know what I mean? And they're dying, no oxygen up there, and that's cool, I guess, in the name of.
Dude, we do
progress.
We do it here too. My dad told me a story about back in his mining days. He was in such a bad part of the mine that they would have to go take a break like every hour. And then like the 1 week my dad wasn't on that crew, they gassed out 2 separate crews because they weren't taking that break, and they freaking had guys pass out down on the bottom of the mine and shit. My dad's like I fucking told you, lack of circulation throughout the mine.
So it's just
lack of oxygen. Yeah.
And that's such a scary thing to think about, being somewhere and you're like, I can't breathe. That's weird.
Or you don't even notice and you just pass out because you fucking, you know what I mean? You're just working in that shit. You just fucking, yeah.
So I mean, if a guy wasn't like full on working his ass off, maybe he wouldn't pass out down there.
No, eventually I think you run out of oxygen to your head eventually.
No matter what.
Yeah, you're just inhaling fucking smoke and shit. You just don't even really realize it, because
I'm just saying, like, if they weren't working down there and you're in that hole, what do you think? Like, do you still just suffocate?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
That's wild that you go into pockets of our own Earth and there's no oxygen there.
Well,
does that not?
I mean,
whoa.
that's man-made because they're sitting there drilling and freaking blasting and whatever they're doing. You know, running diesel equipment. That's just freaking smogging the place without proper.
Okay. So like I said, if we take it a step further and we take all those people out of there, and you're just in that hole.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But
fine.
if you took everybody, out of the hole, stopped running all the equipment, you'd probably be fine. But when you're running diesel drills, because you're running equipment underground. But yeah, that was a long time ago. I'm sure they've fixed that.
You gotta hope. I mean,
it is cool though. That kind of goes back to the mining thing that you were saying. The Stillwater is.
Because all the boys are getting ready.
They are laying
off.
people off, but at least they are doing their best to help them get employment elsewhere.
What
do they call it? A reverse.
It's a reverse
career fair. That
to try to get these guys jobs in the meantime.
That's very good.
It's so tough. Can you imagine like a guy like your dad, whose mining is his blood, and then do something else?
He's dealt with it, man. It happens.
Luckily, there's not too many badasses like your dad out there. But
well, no, my dad went from doing kind of like the Stillwater, mining from a machine going up, and then he kind of slowly moved up, and then he was directional drilling.
He still don't want to go work for a prince over in
where? Oh, the overseas. No, that was the last company he was working with. That opportunity's gone.
Yeah,
but he didn't want to. Or were they going to go to Dubai with this company? It might have been Dubai. They were
going to go somewhere.
He was talking about Dubai, and I was like, I want to go with you, Dad. Take me with you. I'll go hang out in Dubai.
I was like, I wasn't sure how much he got really into it, so I was like, I don't want to
No, I think that was with this last company.
Absolutely.
But because he started directional drilling where he just sits at a computer and does all that stuff, and then this new company is some new type of drilling technology. So it's like they're learning. He had to go to the class to learn how to run these engines and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, he's worked his way up. He's not one of those underground guys anymore.
Mature old man has got to be like, this is a lot for me to deal with. I bet this old stuff was pretty nice at some point compared to all this new.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe, but he's not bad. He's getting the computer side of things figured out.
Man doesn't know what he's doing. But I'm saying it has been a lot more of a struggle than it was before.
100%. It's not what it once was, and he's definitely doing a lot more on computers now. But he can learn. You tell him, show him, he'll do it. Kind of like me when I was
Your dad is. I can't wait till he hears this episode, and he was like, "There's my boy. Way to defend me, boy. I raised him right. He don't let nobody tell nothing bad about his daddy."
I'm trying to get brownie points back so they freaking won't disown me after listening to the first 6 episodes.
At the end of the day, I'll be like, it was his fault. He broke. He was such a terrible influence on our son. Our son probably would have been doing so much better things instead of hanging out with that degenerate.
That's what they've told me since you first came around. Just kidding. No. It was. I do remember one time, the first time my mom really heard Andrew talking. Andrew didn't hear her come in the house. Me and him were playing some video games. And then my mom comes from the corner. "Oh my God, Andrew, I've never heard you talk before." He didn't say another word for the next 2 hours. He was at the house. He got caught.
Well, he is the complete opposite of the mountain giant. He is the mouse giant. He's so tiny.
That might have been why me and him...
Big voice, but so small.
That might have been why me and him got along, because I've always kind of been... I'm the small one in my family. Both my dad and my brother got that big build.
Oh yeah, me and my older brother, we got it. And for some reason, Andrew and Michael got skipped, and then it went to Frankie.
Yeah, weird. Yeah. Luck of the draw. I think both my kids are going to be pretty small, but I think Izzy's going to be taller than me.
But honestly, my older brother really doesn't have that big of a frame now.
He's still bigger than Michael and Andrew for sure.
Pretty close. We can put Michael up there now. I mean, he's filled out.
And I haven't seen Michael in so long, so I can't judge, or I can't
Andrew
say.
He did not get enough nutrients or something in there.
Yeah, he was over at my house eating.
Good. He should have been fine.
He should have been fine. Nah, same thing. They'd kick him home too when it was dinner time. Hey, you need to go tell Andrew it's time to go home.
Yeah, I remember. Or she tried to scare you off with the world famous porcupine balls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's a shout out to her.
Good old, yeah. She used to, her joke was, yeah, we had to wait all year to gather enough porcupines to make some porcupine balls. All my friends are like, dude, I'm not coming to your house for dinner, bro.
She asked me if I wanted one time, and honestly, I didn't realize they were going to be so delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was let in on the family secret, so I was like, whew.
Yeah. They're really good. I mean, if you've ever had Rocky Mountain oysters, you will appreciate a good set of porcupine balls. Just kidding, guys. They are meatballs with rice in them. Okay.
Whoa, we're crazy over here.
Yeah.
Look at these guys.
We're giving away mom's secrets.
It's like a underground little prank. Inside joke all the time.
Because we did it to the kids too for a while until Izzy's made them a couple times with us.
Did anybody cry when they had to eat them for the first time?
No, but we got some weird looks, and I can't wait to get Izzy's friends with it. Yeah, that's when I can see why my mom did it all the time, because it's going to be a great joke.
I mean, it is hilarious as the inside joke.
Yeah. All right, you want to come over for dinner? Yeah, my mom's making porcupine balls.
You got a good blend of the humor out of both your parents.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, my old man, like I said, he was a wild man in his younger years and then becomes a pastor. So there's no real fun, wild and out there stories with the old man. He doesn't really do too much besides work.
I mean, that's all my dad did. Actually, no, I got some pretty fucking funny stories about my dad.
Gets after it on a good weekend. There's a reason why he wanted every weekend to continue happening. And I'm right there with you. I would love for every weekend to continue happening. For some reason, my level of fun gets out of hand or something that people end up getting involved.
Or in jail.
Exactly.
Yeah. I used to be like that, but I haven't been like that for a while. So,
but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. I've gotten wild and crazy. I should have been in jail a lot.
100%. I'm right there with you. The amount of times, I mean, I have been in jail, so the amount of times that a guy should have been in jail versus the time I had been in jail.
Yeah. It's pretty. It's pretty good. Sorry, Officer Freeman, for all the hell we raised, but we caused some trouble in Wyoming when we were kids. It was a small town, one cop on duty at all times, and he went home at like 3 a.m, or maybe it was 2 a.m. or something. So from 2 to 5 a.m, nobody on the streets except us.
How old were you during this?
16, 17.
So basically, when you're raising hell as like all 16, 17-year-olds, I'm talking about the hell you raise when you're an adult. Because I carried on my hell raising until I was like 27, probably. Yeah,
we partied, but we didn't. We kind of stayed out of trouble. I
can't say the same for me. Like we were full shenaniganizers.
Shenaniganizers.
I mean, every weekend, every other day. I mean, we were into something. You name it. So that's why I was like, you snapped out of it and you kind of, you played it safe early.
I did. I grew up pretty quick.
Most people, I mean, there's shit that I know some 40-year-olds right now never.
But I will, as terrible as this is to say, I will contribute the growing up to experimenting with all the shit that I wanted to experiment with in college and realizing that shit'll fuck you up real quick.
But do you think that you should be paying $70,000 a year to go fuck all?
No. College is, for me, it did help me get my career into the dealership business, but I am a strong believer that college is not necessary.
And but then how do you open the lane for experimentation and without?
I mean, you go freaking fuck, take that year to travel. If you're gonna spend, spend 10,000 and go travel freaking Europe and the States
And
for a
this is
year,
like for
and then
like a
come back and decide what you want to do.
future
Yeah,
Because obviously, back in Billings, there was no avenues to do any of these. The travel, we were broke as hell.
yeah,
I'm not
100%.
hopping on a fucking foreign exchange planet and going or plane
Right.
and going somewhere else.
I don't
I'm
know.
stuck to where the fuck I'm at.
Go start working and find out what you want to do for a career.
We did.
Go work for 3 or 4. Well, that's what I'm saying for future generations. That's what I'm gonna tell my kids. Don't go to college until you know what you want to do.
And then
if college will
What
help,
if you're in a household where you got kids, you're a single mother, they don't got time to go messing around. They need to get focused right away. Are you gonna help out, or you should be selfish and care about yourself, even though your whole family's in this situation?
what do you mean? What are you talking about now? Now you're weird.
No, I'm talking about the luxury that kids will have to essentially, you're saying, to go fuck off until they figure out who they are. There's a lot of people who never get the opportunity to fuck off and do what they want.
But I mean, that's why I said go work. Go freaking.
Okay, so go work.
Yeah.
Join the cog.
And find out what you want to do. Go work 10 different jobs in a year and find out what your passion is. That's what you need to do. As a young adult, you need to find your passion and pursue that as a career. Otherwise,
so how do sports and all that play into it? Because we have a whole nation who follows every sport and dreams of being a professional athlete. What about all those kids who dream of being professional athletes that will never come to fruition?
Well, that's probably because while they were sleeping and dreaming about it, they should have been out fucking actually working out. I wanted to be a college football star. I'm fucking small as fuck. I would have had to quit smoking weed and work out every single day, fucking 5 a.m. in the fucking gym, running every single fucking chance I fucking got if I wanted to, you know what I mean? Some people aren't.
Despite all of the things that you just said,
I probably still wouldn't have made it.
Still wouldn't have made it. But they had the dream to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't work out. And then what? Because that happens
100%.
so much.
Yeah, you get all the way through college.
Aspires to be an athlete, to hit the top pinnacle of it. I mean, look how many professional fighters have to fight semi-pro fights until they get one lucky fight that they, bam. How many fights did Tyson have before he ever was professional? How many, are you willing to sign up for that?
Well, that's what you're signing up for if you want to be a professional athlete.
And most people never know that side of it. They only go in seeing the stars. They only see the highest pinnacle of it, never knowing this is where you have to start. This is what it actually entails.
Well, then they never got a good mentor along the way, which you'd hope.
Everybody, that's like an aspirational thing that everybody gets. The lucky.
Yeah, you're not everybody will be so lucky. Obviously, the children of professional athletes have 10 more points in the game than some chump here from Montana. 100%. So it does, a little bit of that does fall into what you were born into. A lot of it does, like actually.
E.T. Eric Thomas, at the end of the day, if there's something that you're so passionate about pursuing, you got to be crazy and go for it. And if it fails, it burns, whatever. Well, you got to pick yourself back up, find the next thing, and hit it just as hard as the first thing.
Well, yeah,
Don't be discouraged.
Anybody in the scientific community that was revered as fucking crazy, even until they died, and then years later, everyone's like, "Oh shit, Sir Isaac Newton knew what the fuck he was talking about." But same thing, how many people told him he was fucking crazy and stupid, and he kept getting back up and on to the next thing and going,
Imprisoned. Galileo imprisoned for their beliefs. Okay, everybody, that's the part that I'm like, how much are you willing to ride for this when, things are against the wall?
Shit hits the fan, you're going to go get in that cell and sit there because you thoroughly believe that what you're speaking is...
Or is it going to flip-flop as soon as things press up in your face? And as somebody who has been a personal flip-flopper in his life, for self-preservation or whatever excuse I gave myself at the time. At the end of the day, you look at yourself and you're like, wow, I really should have done that differently. In hindsight's 2020. But some people never get to stop and reflect. It's all survival from the start of the day to the end of the day.
Some people also stop to reflect and can never get back. So like yet again, it's all over the place. I'm lucky enough to be blessed with a pretty strong mental state. But yeah, there's some people who can be like, I should have done that different, and that will be their thought for a week straight. Not what can I do to make things different now. It's I should have. What could I have done?
Yeah, because I mean, there's so that attachment to the past that you get stuck in, where it's just, and then you're almost holding on to a part of yourself. You're like, that was me, and I don't want to lose me.
My best example is fucking gambling. Fucking, you sit down, you fucking put in money, lose it, put in money, lose it. At some point, you're like, I need to win enough back to get what I've put in. So you fucking keep putting more in, and then fucking leave like $100 down or whatever, just driving home like, what the fuck am I doing? I fucking wasting so much money. Like, this is the fucking stupidest thing ever, blah, blah, blah.
Man.
And you could get stuck in that thought process forever. And I would literally have to catch myself and just be like, you've already done it. There's nothing you can do or say in your mind now that's going to change it. Live with that. And then I can break myself out of that.
Sometimes I always wonder, like, even those are like lessons just in themselves. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, and this was kind of my far out idea of the morning, that even at the end of the day, progress and evolution seems to happen regardless of people's opinions and feelings on it. Technology has sprung to life out of nothing, and it seems to continue on that way regardless of anybody's opinions. The missiles are firing, people are dying, and the world just keeps going regardless. And evolution at its still seems to like be pushing towards this mechanism, you know, whether we continue to be human beings or we go to this synthesized human being to android technology. And playing a game like Nier, and it's like you take all the best aspects of human beings and nature and you try to hold on to that while it turns into this new form of what we call life.
Yeah, because holy shit. I mean, even just thinking about that, in 100 years, when the Neuralinks are pretty common, and yeah, that is even just, it probably wouldn't even be 100 years. Whenever the Neuralinks are pretty common and people are connected on that wavelength, that will be an adaptation in the human genome that is
between Neuralink and the effectiveness of CRISPR.
CRISPR? The fuck is that?
CRISPR is really need to look into it because they have the ability to go in and rewire your DNA in order to pull out specific diseases before birth. But there's a problem because they say that it gets really, really close to eugenics, and humans shouldn't have the ability to be messing with.
Yeah, we don't need to be messing with no genetics, dude.
But how else are we going to get the Montana Mountain King?
All right.
He's 81 messing around in his garage, and we get giant goats.
All right. Give me the ball sack of the mountain giant. Get me the old guy that fucking hit the goats. I'm going to give him a little bit of my, unborn children. Boom. Next thing you know, he's cloning me a baby giant. It's going to be a me, but twice as big.
Man, that'd be so much deals. And
you guys heard it here first.
I couldn't even tell you to shut up.
Because then
that'd be that
my
damn
big guy
big.
would stand up behind, and he's just like probably looks like Slender Man because it's all cloned and not the first level clones not looking good.
We did it best.
Yeah.
He's real skinny. Damn, that guy's thin. He's almost 3D. I mean 2D.
Every time I think of that, it reminds me of Ted. Like anytime I think of like a Frankensteining something back together, it reminds me of Ted. You put me together. You put the stuffing back all wrong. I don't know why. That's where my head goes anytime I think of a Frankenstein
I just look at
situation.
something like that.
But it is crazy that, yeah, he was cloning a goat, and like that
And it's
is.
not the first time that we've been messing around with this cloning business. It seems like we start the cloning business, and then all of a sudden, China's cloning.
You can get your dogs cloned if you. Yeah, you can literally get your dog cloned. That's a business. Someone's business is cloning dogs. If you don't think they're fucking doing that with trying shit on humans, and fucking, you're crazy.
I can only imagine the stuff that's happening in a Chinese laboratory.
Dude, would you?
Hey, there's a reason that everything is made in China.
So it's all regulated. Everything's good to go. You send in your DNA. They send you back a baby you. Would you raise yourself?
Have you ever seen the movie The Island?
No. Oh, is
That's
that where?
literally what it is?
Is that where
all those people are born and raised so they can harness their organs when they get to be certain, and they're like, congratulations, you made it to the island, and then they harvest your heart or whatever and kill you, and then, well, it's not really you because it's just a clone version of you.
Would you raise yourself? Would you
to kill myself?
No. If it was all regulated, it's all legal. You can order a baby that is your clone. Would you order yourself? Would you order a clone and raise it to be your own?
I'd raise myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're not going to turn out the same, though.
I know, and I think that would be good. I'm telling you, this brain ain't perfect to mine.
Shit. Yeah,
the body I'm walking around is definitely not perfect. And if I had a chance to go ahead and just lead the little homie up, yeah, we gonna be all right.
I think I
100% almost feel that way I do with my son now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. It pretty much feels like that having a son.
I sometimes to his own detriment. Sometimes I'm like, man, if I was 11, pizza night, couple nights a week, this is awesome. But pizza 2 nights a week, this is terrible. That's a lot of bread.
Right? Damn.
Should he be eating boneless wings? There's no boneless wings in the wild. There's wings in the wild. Should I be making him eating those? Getting soft eating these boneless wings?
That's where...
When I saw my son, he ordered a parfait from Chick-fil-A. I was like, am I still doing okay as a father?
My son ordered a parfait. It's over for him. I disowned him.
Sometimes
what's he
I
gonna do
don't know.
next? Ballet? First it's a parfait, then it's the ballet.
I don't know. If I'm looking at the way that the fostering of children from the generation before was stop being a pussy. I think those were the wisest words from men that we got back then.
Yeah.
Suck it up. Stop being a pussy.
Just talking about it last night. It was definitely a different time. Being 90s kids was rub some dirt in it and you better like it because this is all you're getting.
Like, granted, I would have loved for my parents to have done anything like the thing that I do for my son now.
Oh, right?
But I look like,
shit.
I think at the end of the day, they wish they could have, but financially is a whole different story.
My dad has always worked really hard to get us all really cool things, and the snowmobiling as a family for us was like that one thing that he fucking made sure we got to do and stopped doing because it got too expensive. Fuel.
He also understood that you could have made a career out of it. He was doing, snowmobiling tours. He was taking people out in the wilderness. He was, so there
he was
is
never
money to be made.
there would be,
He was taking tour guides.
Yeah, but he wasn't getting paid, I don't think.
I think he was definitely getting paid. He took
Woods Power Grip. He did a couple years in a row. Yeah, you'd take he might have been getting paid for that, but
it was damn good money.
Dude, it was even just
now I know for a fact there's some damn good money in being a tour guide.
Even just the teaching us about not really surviving in the snow, because we had a camp, a trailer house up there, but still you'd get stuck in the snow. He's teaching you how to dig that snowmobile out. It was definitely a good. Well, I remember one.
How about simply just being able to get out of the snow? Like, there's no walking on the snow. You can't walk. I tried. I sank, and I kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
I remember one time. It was definitely a fucking suck it up and grow up moment. I couldn't start my snowmobile because it was the old red one, the old phaser. And we were at the gas station, and I couldn't get mine started, and everyone fucking left me. So here I am, like I had to be pretty young. Definitely not in high school yet. So at 12, 13, just fucking crying my fucking little ass off because I can't start my fucking snowmobile, and my fucking family just left me here at a gas station in the fucking ice cold. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I can think of a time after basketball practice, getting left and just being out there like by myself, like, they'll come. I'm sure they're gonna show back up. They'll come. Man, it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock. It is super dark out. This is before cell phones. This is before I was getting ready to have to walk 7 miles home in the middle of the night. Like, how old are you in 5th grade at that point?
10.
Yeah, so I was like 10 years old, getting ready to I guess I'm hoofing it.
Yeah, I know where to go. I know kind of where I'm going.
It's dark. There's no lights. As long as I can stay on the road, I'll be all right.
And my mom used to let me fucking ride my bike to school sometimes. Like, dude, that's fucking crazy.
You rode your bike?
I rode my bike to Elder Grove a couple times. I think twice. Yeah.
At what grade?
It was probably the end of middle school, closer to 7th or 8th grade. Probably closer to the last years, but still, you guys don't know. We lived pretty far away from the school, and it was
in the sticks.
And there's no sidewalks.
7 miles from the school.
No sidewalks. If you're riding your bike, you're on the white line, and then right on the other side of the white line is the ditch.
Yeah, so you gotta bail off into the ditch a little bit. If there's 2 cars on the road.
Yep. Yeah, and I can't believe I also did it to Laurel too. She let me ride my bike all the way to Laurel once.
But that is absolutely...
Back roads makes a little bit more sense, that one. But because going to school, you had to cross
What time did you leave for school that day?
Oh, fuck, it was early.
Yeah, it had to be stupid early.
Maybe, I think I did it once on the weekend to time how long it was going to take me. And then I did it that next week. That might have been what I did.
Never again?
Yeah. So I'll ride the bus.
That does suck. I mean, if you'd have done it, you had a regular pedal bike though.
Yeah, but like a BMX.
Yeah, those bikes suck.
Yeah.
The wheels are so small for long distance.
And you don't have multiple gears on that shit. You don't get a fucking change nothing. Heavy ass fucking spoke or with things on the wheels so you could do tricks.
Billings people will recognize this, but you get on 64th and you start going, there's that one gnarly hill. You drive, it just sinks your stomach. Yeah. But you're 10 years old, you're trying to pedal up over that hill?
Dude,
the struggle is real.
I think I was probably fucking 13 or 14 before I made it all the way up the hill next to our house to the top without stopping and pushing. That was a long, and then it kind of got steeper and steeper. That was a rough.
Races that happened down that hill were, I mean, I can only imagine if we put like a speedometer on us. Good, probably 20 miles an hour coming down that hill.
And just rocks this size, pretty much loose. So you were dodging those suckers and ruts. And
the ruts were the bad part because you hit one of them bad boys on accident.
And it was like
Mad Max racing. You're going down and the bike is exploding behind you.
Oh, man. Yeah, I remember my brother one time, they were 4-wheeler racing, Justin Crank's house. They started at the first turnoff, which would have been your guys' road, Alderson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we went up and then turned around and came back. And my brother hit the brakes at Alderson, slid all the way into Grand Avenue, and there was a truck with a trailer coming. And if that truck and trailer didn't scoot over into the other lane and go around my brother, he would have been just smashed, dude. Crazy. And like I said, he was going so fast that he hit the brakes and slid all the way through that gravel from Alderson to Grand. And I think the only reason he stopped is because he hit asphalt, and that gave him enough grip to actually stop.
Man.
Fuck, dude.
And your brother loves speed.
Oh, yeah.
He likes to go fast.
That's why he wrecked 2 snowmobiles in one season. Sorry. Shout out.
Wasn't, how long ago was this? Are you talking about?
A couple of years ago. Because I don't think he even went last year.
Nah. You can't hold him fault for... You got to hold Chris at fault for that other one. Taking that bad boy off and nosediving it.
Well, he took one of them off a huge jump on accident and hurt himself, and then the sled a little bit, and then like took the other sled out. I think the next weekend it did something to it too. But that's snowmobiling. You have to rebuild your shit every year.
That chassis got so cranked on. It was so bad because I know that, but that one he came down so hard, and Billy is like. I mean, the helmet cracked.
Yeah,
he came down that hard.
That's bad. Yeah, if you crack
Billy
the fucking helmet,
it's really, really bad. For, because Billy landed it, came down. It hurt because he said it was like a 25, 30 foot drop.
Yeah, to flat, which is what you never want to do. Yeah, especially just fucking.
Is there really a good way to come off of that and that he could have landed it clean?
Yeah,
nosedived it harder and then came out?
No, you wanted to be leaned back. You almost want it'll hurt. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe Billy did it the best in landing flat. You just have to take it flat, but maybe with a little bit of your track coming down first. You definitely don't want to be nose front. You want it to be nose up. So what you do is if you're coming up to a cornice like that and you know it's there, you cruise pretty slow, and as soon as you get to the edge of it, you go wham, and you come off of it like that.
Because that's so funny. The cornice that I was trying to attempt, you go up, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to get real high, and then I'm just going to go like this, and I'll just, come back down nicely. Instead, I went like this, and I hit the gas, and I fell over on my side, and I rolled over like 2-3 times.
Well, that's because if you're coming into it, if you're coming into a cornice, you just got to blast through it. If you're coming off of it, you got to come down.
I have no idea. I was literally by myself, like... I got a little bit of confidence
and you took off over the hill. Yeah.
And then Billy also came and stopped me the other time. He's like, hey, you don't need to be riding around right here. I was like, why not? It's so open and spacious. He's like, you're on top of a lake. Don't do that.
Yep.
What the hell is a lake doing up here? Nobody told me about no lakes. We're in the fucking mountains. Why is there a lake up here?
We used to do a trail, and the start of it was like you take the road for a little bit, but then you come down here, and my dad would always stop us, and he was like, all right, you see kind of where that comes through together right there? We're going there. Don't stop. We're on the lake. And I'm like, okay. Smashing across that lake. And it's all frozen, but it was just, you don't stop on the lake just in case if it does crack here. A snowmobile will float on water.
If I had any idea that I was on a lake, I wouldn't even been out there to begin with. Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah. It's like we are in ice. All I see is snow. How am I supposed to know there's a body of water underneath me?
See, and I think that was another really good thing that doing that helped with our knowledge of kind of like what's around us. And we can go to Red Lodge now and be like, yeah, if we go over that hill, there's that nice little meadow right there, which might be a lake. I'm not sure. It could just be a meadow. But because we snowmobiled in those mountains, we feel like we know those mountains. So.
And now them same mountains are under attack. Tim Sheehy's trying to sell off those private lands.
God damn it, Tim Sheehy.
Come get these hands.
But... It is crazy how different it is in the middle of winter, and then you go out there in the summer and you're seeing these fucking 10-foot rocks, and you're like, holy shit, I've been snowmobiling over these this whole time. So then you just think about it, like it's so much snow.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about, I mean, I don't, other than when you get up to like Superior and Thompson Falls in that area where it's just so thick with woodlands.
I haven't seen
beautiful.
Glacier National Park, but I've heard good things. But I feel like Beartooth's middle of summer.
The Beartooths are beautiful.
Oh,
yeah. I mean,
and that's
you've never done the Beartooths?
Oh no, that's where we used to snowmobile.
Okay, yeah.
That was where we literally had a fucking 30-foot camper up there that my dad towed up the fucking switchbacks.
Talk about these last couple of years when he had to get it out of there.
Oh, getting it out of there was nuts. Yeah, so me and my brother were in the Chevy Lumina out front, like going around the corners with our fucking flags out because he's pulling this 30-foot camper that he didn't even know if it was going to stay together.
No brake lights. No correct hookups.
Just my dad fucking trailer or bumper pulling a 30-foot trailer house down the fucking switchbacks.
And if you come to Montana and you see the switchbacks, then you'll know
You'd be fucking
how
impressed, dude.
Scary that would have been. I mean, at any point he could have lost that trailer and it's falling hundreds of feet to fucking, it's doomed.
He would have just fucking left it there and then, don't you kids ever tell anybody about this? No, I'm just kidding. My dad wouldn't have done that.
But I mean, man.
It was cool though. That was super cool when we were able to do that, when we were able to leave it up there all year round. But then the Forest Service was like, no, you need to move it once a year. My dad's like, fuck that. I'm not going to move it once a year to another campsite. Like,
there was the thought of painting it
green to blend it in with the behind. Because my dad built a metal roof, a metal angled roof, so that snow wouldn't gather up on it and it would fall off. Like it would have been fine as a permanent structure right there, but that's also, they didn't want a permanent structure at a campground. I get it. And the guy who owned the gas station used to live up there during the winters, so the gas station was open. And then once he stopped doing that, it was like we really couldn't.
You want to know what's
go out
wild?
There as much.
So I painted the son's house of the new owners.
Oh, the new owner. The top of the world store.
Yeah, and I was supposed to paint his dad's house and then do kind of some craziness, you know. But other than that, I met Jared and Mason, pretty good guys. Okay. And we got a tire shop out there. But it was wild. I was like, oh, this is so funny. What a small world. And I think Billy might have even met.
Huh.
Yeah.
That would be cool because I loved when they did that, man. They had a good amount of snowmobile traffic through there through the winter that you would think they were making a little bit of money on their fuel.
Do you know the giant wind turbine? Or it was like a giant, it was up there by the bar for the biker rally where they would go to. And there was this big, it was crazy. It came down actually like a week or after we were working up there. But they had the big bike rally that they do every year. And the thing, they had probably, he said almost like 500 bikers or something right there all partying the night before. And this thing is just whacking against the tower up there. Then break loose. The next day, everybody's cleared out. Everybody's gone. Big old wind. And all of a sudden here, wham. And this whole van just comes down. He's like, that would have killed so
bunch
many
of people. Dang.
Yeah. And then it came down and they were able to, you know, but it shuts down the whole thing. Got no power. That's like a thing they need for their backup generator and everything.
Dang.
So,
well, it's like the story your brother was, or it might have been even your dad telling the people about, we need to go fix this water tower, and then they don't listen to him, and then fucking got to replace the whole goddamn thing because they didn't listen. It's just like
$10 million water tower.
Like, why not maintenance what is already fucking there?
I think it just goes up the chain of commands as far as who's in charge of the money, and then they're like, well, we don't need to. We can just put a patch on it for $20,000 versus.
Well, that's the thing. I think is that what your dad said we should do, and they didn't even patch it. They didn't even do that.
They took so long to do the back and forth. But then my old man, he's dealing with it, where you have these arrogant individuals who just refuse to even work with somebody all they do is they want to bitch and complain and point fingers, but they never want to lift a damn finger and do anything.
Yeah.
And that's becoming, I mean, that's kind of becoming the social norm. Everybody just wants to point to other people to fix the things, but
No one wants to
actually
step
fix
up.
the things.
Yeah.
But everybody want to bitch about it.
Yeah. Everyone loves to complain.
And it's awesome, like this movement for everybody to be their best selves. But I don't do anything community-wise. Then everybody's just the best version of a version that somebody else hates.
Well, I mean, if everyone can collectively try to make themselves better in a social aspect, then that would be good. But
that's the
not
thing.
everyone's got that mindset.
And there's a whole lot of people who refuse to buy into our idea of society. I mean, you literally have a whole anti-America movement.
Even within this fucking country, dude.
Who would stand against everything we're saying right now?
Yeah.
And for somebody like us, where it's like we're just preaching on our values and morals that we kind of grew up with, while being open and considerate to other people's points of views. But we're just,
well, I even asked
you're just a bigot, cis white male.
I even asked my mom our religious background, or like if I was like, did your mom go to church? Did her mom go to church? I was like, did dad's parents go to church? We're
She's like, yes, we've been witches for 7 generations.
No, dude, we're like, so I would be a 5th generation. From on my mom's side, we came from Germany 5 generations ago, and I think basically she was saying the last 2 or 3 generations haven't really frequented church.
Bro, I'm telling you,
my
guys are part
grandma's
of that great
mom.
Bear money. You guys got to reach out. Hey, yo, Bear, get my boy paid over here.
Yeah,
He
Bear
related.
Aspirin. I could use your product and your money
for these teeth.
Yeah, both. Yeah, but I mean, I could use your product to stop the tooth from hooding. It's hooding real bad. And then I could use the money to fix it.
And then probably get this guy a real education so he doesn't say hooding.
Hooding. It's hooding, and we got mobile kitchen coops.
That was a strong
It was,
and
dude.
I don't even feel bad for you because
you had one the other day
response. Too. No.
Yeah, you said that 5 times fast. No. I thought about it, and I was like, okay, get ready. You're going to do it. And I was like, no, you're not. Like, I could probably do it now.
And bailing.
No, I'm just kidding. Bailing now again.
But we also learned some pretty interesting facts when it came to the old Montana in itself.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that we have some crazy, wild, potentially megalithic things here.
But 1803.
Oh, yeah, just about the history, yeah.
And 21 years ago, we were owned by the French.
Well, and a little bit of Great Britain. It wasn't even all of Montana that we purchased in 1803. And then in 1847, we purchased a little bit more from Great Britain. So, yeah, we were French.
So what was happening back then? What was popping back then that, you know, everybody had a bunch of...
The 1800s...
French, yeah, the fur trappers.
Copper. Montana Territory was the leader in copper in the 1800s. We were mining the copper. We got to make our cups.
And then copper became plumbing.
Pennies. So people were probably, I wonder what was copper's main use in the 1800s?
Had to have been plumbing.
Steam. No, because
steam, yes,
steam trains and stuff, maybe. Because when did copper plumbing? Hey DJ, when did copper plumbing start getting put into houses? Because I don't think that was the 1800s. When did plumbing even become a thing?
But the idea between aqueducts and using channels in order to dispose of waste is, you know, an idea as old as time.
But yeah, that's why we're called the treasure state, is because there was so much natural resources here. And I thought it was gold. Honestly, I was pretty surprised to see that copper was our main.
We have a fair share of gold here.
1927. So yeah, it was still 120 years away from being used in. What was copper's main use in the 1800s then? Because I wonder. And they say 1800s. I guess it could have been later part of the 1800s that it became a like a really big thing because it was 1889 when it became a state, and it was called the Treasure State. So it could have been later 1800s. I can't.
Oh, it made electricity?
Okay, that makes sense. They were using it all the
Wiring?
copper wiring. They hadn't quite got to using it for copper piping, but they were using it for all their home wiring. That makes sense. Okay, cool. But yeah, so it was interesting learning a little bit of history that I didn't know about Montana.
See, and that's the wild thing that even back then, did they know that's what it would ultimately be used for? Would be for wiring?
When they started extracting it?
I'm talking 200 years ago when we're talking about this push for exploration of technology. That's literally like it starts. Like, who pumps the idea out there that you can put two pieces of wire with two different opposing forces and we can create electricity?
Tesla was using copper in all of his shit, right? So as soon as we get to Montana, or I guess soon as the French settlers, if they're going to be the first ones that settled Montana, they would have found copper and been like, oh, this is something that has been coming very popular.
Out of a possibility. So you already have Native Americans who are all over, especially this
area. 100%. Big Sky was the reason the Battle of Bighorn happened, was because the natives said, you can be here, just don't go into Big Sky country. That's our sacred land. We went in there and took the gold. So that's why the Battle of Bighorn happened. So yes, there were natives here 100%. This was their sacred land.
And do Native Americans use copper for anything?
Ooh, that's a good question. No, did they then? Ever? Yeah, Native Americans, tools and jewelry. So they would have been already there, maybe mining some of it?
Because I'm sure those guys from France, a lot of those guys were fur trappers in the beaver trade.
Because, yeah, they're always been very ornate about their, like, furs and stuff over in the UK, huh?
What are they called? Fancy ferrets. What are those guys?
Minks.
Minks.
Is it the minks? Yeah. So yeah, a lot of jewelry, a lot of sculptures. So Native Americans would have been using the copper, therefore they were probably already there mining it.
But I mean, copper is such a soft material
that it would have been fairly easy to mine.
I guess
and then malleable into a spearhead.
Yeah, weapons.
Yeah. It'd be easily manipulated into a spear or a knife of some sort, maybe.
Yeah, it's almost like we found it and it's just a weapon waiting to be made.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like, stop these weapons. Let's put the president's face on it.
And make it worthless.
It's going to be worth a penny.
It's going to be worth a penny.
You got a penny? A whole penny? Because you had hay pennies too.
Back when... that was back when coins were actually made of silver too.
Yeah, it was like they were actually made of copper, and then they pulled all the copper out of them in the 1800s.
So it's funny that Montana gets noted for its copper in the 1800s, but it definitely by 1889, when it became a state, it was named the Treasure State because they were getting so many minerals out of it: gold, silver, and copper.
Because I mean, you keep going north into Canada and then up into Alaska. That is some of the most gold.
Yeah, the freaking the high peaks or whatever in Alaska that was super far up north. Those guys are constantly mining for gold up there. I think my buddy Joe works at a gold mine, and he actually told me a crazy funny story. The other day they had a inspection, and he's just a shuttle driver, right? He just drives the bus up and down. His main boss gets in and says, okay, we're going up there to pick these people up. And it was odd because it wasn't a normal time. So he gets these people, brings them back down. They all go in for interviews. And one guy was being really weird about his coffee cup. He's been holding it like this and hadn't taken a drink out of it. So the fucking boss is like, what's in your coffee cup? Fucking gold. Had like 4 ounces of gold in his coffee cup. So the they got caught. People were stealing gold out of the gold mine.
Oh.
And that's what the freaking someone tipped him off, and that guy got fired right away. Probably a couple $1,000s worth of gold in a coffee cup, trying to take it out of the mine.
But I'm sure that's tough too, man, because it's like, am I really taking that much?
Like,
they're doing the damn work to get the shit out of the ground.
But at the same time, you're getting paid $30 an hour. You're gonna risk your fucking career for fucking $6,000.
They just made $1,200 by putting the shit in a coffee cup.
Yeah,
and I'm supposed to spend $30 an hour. For how many hours does that take to add up to $1,200? And I'm in the fucking hole. I'm the one doing the hard work. I'm the one, just because they had the money to invest in the land.
I get it, bro. But at the same time, you're never going to get hired by another mine ever again. That's your career that you've been fucking working and training for. You just threw it away for $6,000 worth of fucking gold. How long are you going to live off this?
Would they ever see the big money, though?
How are you going to sell fucking that gold anyways? It's fucking sketchy.
I mean, there's plenty of people who would just buy
some gold, yeah.
You can go take it to a pawn shop, I'm sure. You got huck off. It might only get $20 for a $6,000 piece of gold. You get $20.
Where'd you get this? Nowhere. But no, there's also I read a book about the gold mine in Juneau. Apparently the story goes that they forgot to put down a whole pallet of gold from the fucking mine entrance down to the fucking storeroom. And the fucking guys who were coming out of the mine at the middle of the night saw this fucking pallet of gold and were like, let's fucking steal it, and fucking got it onto a boat, and we're supposed to meet at one spot and fucking unload it. And the boat never made it there. The story is that it sank, but it was like a legit pallet of fucking gold. Like, so people been stealing gold since fucking back in the day.
And I know there's I used to watch this show that they take the metal detectors out there all over Alaska, and they were pulling. I mean, there's old missile sites. There's still
all sorts of shit out there.
Yeah, because I mean, they were putting down minefields just in case
they come Russia send some subs or something. Yeah,
and so there's people who walk out there. And then we also had they were like these spike traps, so like you stepped on it and it was almost like Vietnam stuff. Like it would come and shoot out, and it would kind of like a medieval bear trap thing. It just stab you right through. I thought I caught that one. That was dope.
But no, it's kind of funny about that story, and the fucking where they went to go meet is like, they call it the Shrine. It's an old ass church, and the first time I ever went out there, I just had really weird, eerie feelings that there was fucking secrets at that spot. And then later I read the book, and it mentioned that was where the fucking gold was supposedly trying to go to. So I was like, that makes sense now. I read this fucking, like, their shit was going on at the shrine. So
that is absolutely insane.
It is.
Think about how much history is lost to, because there's even talk about pirates,
and you can feel it, dude.
But I'm saying, like, they've talked about pirates ditching gold up there. I mean, there's so much history even beyond World War II. You go to pirates. You go to 1600s, the 1500s.
The Vikings and shit, dude. The Vikings probably frequented it.
There's just so much.
There's so much
up there.
Unknown. That too, so much land. Like when I did the ferry from Juneau to Washington, it's 4 days of traveling the coast of Canada, and you don't see a single fucking town.
And you gotta be a tough son of a bitch to live out there, because you're snowed in like 3 months, probably. Like up there in the what do they call it? The Klondike?
You're probably without snow for 3 months.
Oh, 9 months, you're fucked.
Probably, dude. It's probably way. I mean,
but I just seen, like, because obviously that's where Gold Rush, they were doing their last one, was up there in the Klondikes, and I mean, talk about some gold. Boys were getting the gold.
I can sit there and watch a fucking full episode of Gold Rush on my phone if it's there, dude. I fucking hate it.
It's just,
and then I'm like, why didn't I put this on fucking the TV?
Or like crab fishermen. Which one would you do? Like,
I would rather be on the land mining than be out there fishing crabs. Fuck being on a boat.
those videos are so scary.
Oh.
Watching them, and they had to bring back that old yo ho, and it makes it even that much more terrifying.
Oh, you seen the video of a guy claiming that their boat was being followed by mermaids? Of course, we're going like this crazy my conspiracy corner
I can't
again.
even hate. Curtis is like, please, and now we're into the back half of the show. So if you're, look, we don't have any viewers. Go ahead,
Let's go.
at it, Curtis.
It is a pretty good one. I don't believe it, but it sounds pretty convincing. They're cruising pretty good, and you can see something like what looks like a fish kind of coming up, or as a dolphin would. But then you hear it, and it literally sounds like a woman screaming, like, help, help, like a little bit. And I'm like, damn, that's pretty fucking creepy.
But I mean, you go all the way back to the Odyssey and the idea of sirens and mermaids.
That's how they do it.
The sea, so.
That's how they do it.
Ain't that about something else? These damn women always been pulling man down.
Always knocking us down, never picking us back up.
DJ sent me probably one of the funniest videos I've seen in a long time. It's just two gay guys sitting on a couch together. You want to be a man? Fuck a dude. Getting your feelings with a woman. Talking it out. Oh, that sounds really gay. Be a man. Fuck your friend.
Wrestle with another full grown man. Yeah, dude, that fucking, you showed me that. That was so fucking funny. You want to do manly things? Wrestle with a full grown adult. Oh my god.
Talk about your feelings? Oh, that so gay.
So funny, dude. That's a good one. That was a good video. Oh man.
Man, did we go through everything?
Yeah, pretty much. And I do like the kind of the Montana theme to the most of it. We got some cool stuff around. We can do, like you said, travel vlogs would be fun. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that just
definitely
in Montana alone, we can go all over.
A snowmobile vlog would be
take
dope.
People inside the caverns. That sonic boom.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Even the fucking museum in Bozeman is really cool. The dinosaur museum.
There's so much history here out of was not really supposed to be here.
Well, now that I look at that map,
for a railroad.
Well, now that I look at the map of the ice, the what is it? Not potential, but theorized ice sheet. A lot of, I would say 50% of Montana was not covered in ice. If that image is correct.
And if you look at those parts of, well, I guess for the western side state, but where it shows us, it is the driest part. Like, we get so dry here, but then
just up north, you get a little bit.
It's really dry too, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, if we don't get rain,
but you get up,
we
by
get
Eureka,
fires.
I mean, it's like all trees. It's all pine trees.
Yeah, but same thing. I mean, even Canada was super dry the last couple of years. We've had a bunch of big fires up there and shit. So
who knows?
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, if that image of that ice sheet is correct, Montana would have been, especially the Butte area, would have been not covered with ice, and leaves potential that sage wall could have been there before the Younger Dryas.
And if you're out there and you got more information for us, please reach out. We want to know more. Because we're a bunch of
amateur researchers,
researchers, analysts.
We are amateur
conductors,
political and geological researchers. Amateur.
Yeah.
Big emphasis on amateur. And Google is our search criteria. So
also talking to you, Google. Help us out, homies.
Hook it up. Don't curate.
I got my AI like listening in on the background.
God damn it.
Whoa, Gemini.
Yeah, Google, stop curating my search results unless they are all conspiracy based. I want them to make me look crazy.
Well, now you can't even be mad about the results that come.
They've been doing that. They've been doing that for
That's
months
the one
already.
thing that we got into. We were like, manifest.
Oh yeah, God damn it, you're right. Yeah, we got to talk the things we actually want. All right,
yes, the
City
billions
Brew,
of dollars.
we definitely do want that sponsorship still. We do product place your guys' drinks at least the first half of our shows.
Until we run out and want more.
Yeah, and then it would be really nice to just have someone that we could order, be like, "Yo, you're about to get off work. Drop us off a coffee on the way."
And I mean, it would just be, it was cool.
It'd be cool.
Mary was in there, Gabby was in there. If they were listening, shout out to you guys. You guys crushed it this morning.
And yeah, it was cool to chat with him yesterday a little bit too. And yeah,
No, it was dope even talking to him this morning.
Yeah.
I mean,
having them behind us, I guess, know about us and
if
support
you're up
us
at
is cool.
4:30 in the morning, get over to City Brew, get yourself a coffee.
Heck yeah.
Start your day right with Mary and the girls, and James if he's there as well.
We haven't seen James in a while. I wasn't there. You frequent more often than I do, so.
But yeah,
Shout out.
I get there 7 days a week basically. I am that white girl.
At least it's not pumpkin spice, and you don't have a pumpkin on your head yet.
It's definitely that time of the season. I can smell it in the air around here.
Yeah.
There's so much pumpkin-y. My son has decided he wants to go inflatable costume for Halloween this year.
Cool.
He's looking Fall Guys.
Yeah, that'd be okay. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I think it's be pretty dope.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do anything for Halloween this year. Kids are going to be gone. Kids will be in Alaska with their mom. So I will be kidless.
That is a tough...
It's one of my favorite holidays with the kids because you get to dress up and stuff.
And the Cobb House also hosting their singles night this weekend. It's on Saturday. I reached out. I said I'd bring in the chips. I'd bring some dip.
Bringing chips and dip?
Well, I have no idea. I just reached out. I sent them a message that I'd help out in any way. And they're probably like, you probably don't want this single guy. Any others?
Dude, like I said, we are three single men. We should
three wild crazy
guys. We should walk in and only tell them we speak French. I don't know if you've seen our podcast, but we are the French Morning with the
Boys. You might be able to
boys.
see right through our French.
Oh, oui. Yeah, I'm not good with any accent because
I could say Jules.
At some point,
what's fine, Jules?
At some point, my accent always switches to another one. Like, when did this guy become Asian
or Cajun?
Cajun? I can't even understand what he's saying. I'm about to make a name for myself up in here. Some Gambit.
Oh man, but it's pretty cool. I think we're gonna do. It sounds like Halloween's gonna be popping this year.
Yeah, it's
also I think the Cobb House is also hosting a
Halloween party
for the Purgatory, the Nightmare Before. Where are you at on Nightmare Before Christmas?
Love it,
Seems
dude.
like it's
Classic.
getting more and more popular by the year.
Yeah, Izzy loves it too.
That's what's up.
I think she likes it because he ends up going into the Christmas world and doing some stuff
I didn't
there.
think that enough people gave Oogie Boogie his due. So remember, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
That is a sad one. They were showing highlights from Makembe Mutombo as well. Man, that dude was just a freak. Swatting everybody. The original John Cena.
We are at that age where a lot of our people are passing away now. Like when we lost Robin Williams, that was like the first one that really hurt, and then famous wise, it's been kind of a downhill spiral ever since.
We ended up throwing on Half Baked last night.
Oh,
I can't make that up. Like we were literally just talking about it, and then Prime pulled it up as a suggestion, and watched the whole damn thing last night. It holds up.
I want to talk to Samson.
It holds up. It's still
right near the beach,
movie. Boy. And rest in peace that the Cuban guy, I believe, who played in that movie. He actually died in real life.
Really?
Yeah. He was the fourth, because you had obviously Dave Chappelle, Jim Brewer,
and Harlan Williams. Really? The other guy passed away? Yeah. Really? Fuck you. You're cool. I'm out. Pushes the mic away.
Only got one question. Who's coming with me?
I will.
Janice?
I did use that on one of my drops. Did you ever hear that one? It's like DJs will put anything at the drop. All I want to know is who's coming with me. And then
that is a solid drop.
Right before, you hear that. I will. That's pretty good.
nice.
Yeah,
That is
it's a pretty good
drop.
one. Should be on my YouTube. Check it out. Check it out.
Don't forget Bare Necessities Gaming.
We got Bare Necessities Gaming. We got Bare Necessities Media,
I was
which I've
thinking
been dropping
about,
some videos on
making
too.
a trip over to the Bamsky studio and dropping Bare Necessities tee off to the great and powerful Bamskys.
We definitely could do that. I got 5. Got 5 ready to go.
I would think that the guy who brought us into the studio ever, just on a whim, definitely appreciate a good
good shirt, and if he wears it on the air, even better.
I mean, it is. I think he's doing a bunch of costumes.
That is one thing I also talked to Carson about. Is I've always wanted to get a good, and it sucks that the kids aren't here this year for it, but a good Halloween costume for a Jedi, because I do have a lightsaber, and I'd probably do a Sith Jedi. But she's like, I'm so into costumes. I was like, cool, we can work together on a costume. Because I've always if I can do one really nice cosplay Jedi outfit, I never have to be anything else for Halloween ever again. And then just do that every single year. My mom did that. She was a witch every single year for Halloween, and we loved it. So yeah, that's my thing. That's gonna be my Halloween costume. But like I said, I don't know if I'll do anything this year with not having the kids here. So
it would be bad for you to stay in. So it's a young kids game out there.
I've also never been a trick or treat greeter, right? Like I've never had the light on and never sat at the house and handed out candy. That would be another really cool thing. Dress up where you open the door. Maybe there's a little bit of a cool scene there, and I'm dressed up like a, a Star Wars character or something. That would be cool as well. But again, I just don't know. I'm too lazy to set shit up.
That's where it becomes. I'm getting to. After Nando, I think he's got like maybe 2-3 more years before he's done with the
trick or treating.
Yeah, I mean, even if he's not done, he's going to be with his friends. Dude. He's not going to be like, hey, Dad, will you take me trick or treating?
Let's go let's do adult trick or treating. Except for when we show up, be like, yo, can we get a beer?
Well, no, I mean, I think that's why they host like purgatory and these things for adults.
Yeah, so you can actually go do like that instead of walking around being creep.
Yep. It's bad enough when you got and I mean, hey, if you're a kid and you really are about that Halloween, and you're trying to get some candy, cool. But I'm gonna tell you, it's it throws you off a little bit when there's a 17-year-old coming up to your door.
Yo, dude.
Yeah, problem? What's up, homie? No, just trick or treat? Oh, okay. Here you go.
Unless he's like, yo, I get the candy, I sort through the candy, I take it to school, I sell it, and I got my profit margin is insane if I can get out here and trick or treat on Halloween. And I'm like, respect, kid. Take the whole fucking bag. And I turn my light off for the rest of the day.
I was going to say, I'm
not even mad. I'm impressed.
But
I want to see if I can get to convince my kids to do that.
I was going to say, my kid is he's going to be too old to he cares. And if he is, he's going to want to go with his friends. He's not going to want to hang out with his pops.
I'm about there too. I think I got less than 5 years before my daughter's like, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. She tells me, no, that'll never happen, Dad. That's what she says right now. But I'm like, nah, you're going to be a teenager soon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even Nando yesterday, I was watching a video. He came in and hung out with me for a little bit yesterday. So it happens, but it's just more frequent. Less frequent, I should say. Less frequent,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So
that's why I'm trying to enjoy it as much as I can.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to bring this whole thing back into a nice little bow tie, it's take care of those loved ones around you.
Hug your loved ones. Yes, absolutely.
Stop taking it all for granted, because who knows when an Iranian missile strike can happen on us.
You know what? Fuck it. Hug your neighbor, as long as he's not on the list.
Well, we got Uncle Russ across the street, so I gave my neighbor a hug.
But for real, love thy neighbor. As unreligious as I am, that's a really good fucking saying.
Ain't nobody telling you to walk the perfect life, but at the end of the day, don't be a dick.
Yeah, I like that saying better. Don't be a dick.
Try to make there's our next place.
Shirt.
I'm sure on the front, be a dick has been taken.
No, on the front it says something like "Love thy neighbor," and on the back says "Don't be a dick." It's the same saying.
Hey,
same saying, front and back.
It's an idea. We own it. Don't forget it.
Yeah, don't forget it.
I'm gonna break your legs.
We'll break your legs. That's another shirt. It's just saying break your legs.
Oh man, you couldn't even call for a better time. We are right there.
We're right there.
Let's wrap this thing up. What do
We
you gotta
appreciate
tell
you
the people?
guys. We are so happy with all the support. You know, on YouTube right now, we have 50 recurring viewers, meaning 50 people are coming back to our content, whether that be our reels or our lives, but we got 50 people constantly coming back, which is amazing. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support.
Hey, and if we can get you guys to actually,
Subscribe.
subscribe,
That.
but just send us a message. You know what I mean? We like to get the real day ones. We want to write them down. We want to know who has been riding with us from day one.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been with us, you better get on board.
Get on Facebook, send Ben a message, send me a message on Bare Necessities Gaming on Facebook. I don't know if you can message through YouTube, but leave a comment just so we know who we're chatting with. Like I said, some of you guys aren't subscribed yet. Please do. It helps us in every way, shape, and form. But we just like being here bullshitting with you guys.
Like the things, comment on the things, subscribe to the things, share the things.
Yeah, and do it all. We appreciate you guys.
All right, and until then,
Bye.